In 1945, a psychiatrist walked out of Auschwitz with an observation that challenged the standard understanding of human survival. In the camps, thousands died from causes unrelated to the gas chambers, starvation, or the cold. The anomaly was who succumbed first. The strongest, the youngest, and the most physically fit prisoners often died before anyone else. Meanwhile, frail and physically broken men kept walking. They continued to breathe and survive, pushing long past and known limits of human biology. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist who observed this, began studying these survivors obsessively. He listened to their stories in the dark, looking for the pattern that kept them alive. Frankl found he could predict a prisoner's death days in advance. A man would lose his internal drive and stop basic functions like shaving or eating his rations. He would lie down in his bunk, and within 48 hours, he would be gone, collapsing without any new illness or injury. This quiet surrender happened when a person lost their why. Frankl identified this internal collapse as the disease of the empty soul. Frankl suspected that the collapse he witnessed in the camps was a latent possibility within the entire human species. Other animals lack this vulnerability. A dog exists without asking why. A bird never wonders if its life carries weight. They survive on instinct alone. Humans, however, frequently face a cold realization during quiet moments at 3 a.m. or during a morning commute. It is the sudden, nagging suspicion that there is no deeper point to the daily routine. This question is a byproduct of being human, a direct result of how our minds are constructed. Our ancestors crossed a cognitive threshold that allowed them to conceptualize deep time and imagine the future. For the first time, a living creature could picture its own inevitable death. While this mental leap enabled art, science, and civilization, it also introduced a specific biological risk. This diagram highlights the exact vulnerability point in our evolution. It is the moment our awareness of the future collides with the realization of our own mortality. This created an evolutionary wound, the terrifying awareness that the universe doesn't automatically provide a reason for our existence. To survive, the human mind developed a defense mechanism. We created meaning as a load-bearing support for the psyche. Meaning functions as essential medicine, providing the psychological structure necessary to keep the evolutionary wound from becoming fatal. In 1897, sociologist Emil Durkheim began tracking this phenomenon on a massive scale. His data showed that suicide rates did not increase during famines or extreme physical hardship. Instead, they spiked when life became materially easier and the traditional stories that gave people a sense of purpose began to dissolve. Durkheim defined this as anomie, a state where a society provides plenty of comfort but fails to provide a reason for being. Modern civilization is now defined by unprecedented material abundance. We have developed technological and medical solutions for almost every basic threat to our survival. Yet, as highlighted by economist Angus Deaton, we are seeing a rise in deaths of despair. People are dying from addiction and suicide because the reasons to stay alive are being eroded. In solving the problems of hunger and disease, we have built a world that satisfies our physical needs while starving our requirement for meaning. Our culture currently operates on the assumption that a meaningful life is synonymous with happiness and the avoidance of pain. Research data tells a different story. As this chart shows, the groups that report the highest levels of meaning, such as parents, activists, and soldiers, often report the lowest levels of day-to-day comfort. They deal with more stress and worry than those who prioritize ease. Meaning functions by transforming unavoidable pain into a reason to endure. It changes the nature of suffering, turning a burden into a mission. Finding purpose requires us to look past our own comfort and dedicate ourselves to something larger than the self. Viktor Frankl argued that meaning is found in 3 specific areas: love through connection, work through contribution, and the courage to find purpose in unchangeable suffering. This list excludes the markers of success our culture emphasizes, like wealth or status. Meaning originates from service and outward action, emerging from what we offer to the world. We use noise and screens to avoid the most important question of our lives. What are you living for? This is not about what makes you happy. It is about your why, the specific reason that would give you the strength to walk through hell. Survival does not require ease or material wealth. It requires one strong reason to face the darkness and keep moving. The most terrifying question you will ever face is whether you still have yours.